the United States of Biafra gave everyone, every commander, we gave them the time to really think through everything they are doing and do the right thing. Nobody is forcing anyone to do anything. But the government have a structure that must be followed. The government have a structure that cannot be tampered with. And we believe that structure is to safeguard the security of everyone, whether our military, our people, and the whole country. So he was open to that. But every now and then, it seems there's something that is just making him sit back, which I believe, I don't know, only he can tell Biafrans. Every now and then, we discover this little laxity. And this attempt that because they have the gun, they will be the one in charge of the government, not the other way around. And I don't blame some. Coming from the place where they've been all along and what they've known all along, I truly understand. It will take a lot of reorientation and orientation for them to really understand how the runnings and functioning of a government works. And I'm really open to that. But I'm not going to be open to the point where it becomes something that's a tool for revenge or a tool for destructing what the government is doing. So between February and April, whatever he demands, we give it to him based on the resources that we have. And also based on the point that with time, we will be able, the defense team, again, I'm not telling any commander to come out openly for anything, because we have these criminal elements inside and among us 24/7. So security and safety is my #1 priority for all Biafrans. I scheduled meeting, Zoom meeting 3 times with Butuzo. He failed it. He didn't show up in those 3 meetings. The first one was supposed to be a question and answer session with Biafrans. It is important, anyone occupying such a high position in Biafra land, that you make out time and talk to your people. You don't have to show everybody your face. But occupying a position like the Commander General of the United States of Biafra, it is critical, it is very important that you talk to Biafrans. During that question and answer session, we invited him, the cabinet invited him. He refused to do that. He didn't talk to Biafrans. On a second time, I scheduled a Zoom meeting to meet with him and these few other individuals that work with him. He refused. He didn't come to that meeting. The defense and I, we scheduled another 3rd meeting. And my thing is not about meeting or no meeting, because I already know where everyone stays. The decentralization of the United States of Biafra military cannot stop. Nobody can do that, because that is what the structure of our government requires. And I am very, very happy and excited where our government is and where our able-bodied men and women, where they are in building the protection of their states. So even in the states where they are, we still have the commands in those areas. My only thing is that we all must work together to move quickly in what we need to do. The equipment, the resources, the venues in those areas were built by Biafrans. By Obatobie, it is our fundraisers that raise all that at every step of the way. So it all belongs to Biafrans. Anyone working for Biafra must be accountable to Biafrans. So again, I don't know what his mindset was, but it's okay. So between that February and April, we were giving everything that his department needs, and our finance will be able to put the figures straight here in this meeting of how much we've expended just between 8 weeks of working with Butuzo. He still works with us. I love him. He's a very, very great guy. I like him. So anybody thinking he's anything different, no. But we all must work together to be where we are. And it is okay if somebody does not work together. There are people that were following Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu. When the DOS told him, some people said, you know what, I'm going to wait until Onyendu comes out. It's absolutely okay to wait. Because only you know what you and Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu discussed. Only you know what you and him talked about. There are people that worked with Uwazulike. When Uwazulike was told to back down, some people following him say, you know what, I'm just tired. I'm just going to wait. There are people that were with our Prime Minister. And when Finland took him, they were very, very depressed and disappointed. Some say, you know what? Let me just wait until Onyendu comes out, PM comes out. It is absolutely okay. But what is not okay is you are waiting for PM to come out, then you are destroying what the Prime Minister have left behind or what Onyendu have left behind. That is not okay. We will not allow that to happen. So between that February, April, we try to help as much as we can. But within that timeline, we also discovered that Butuzo refused to meet with the defense team. He has refused to have a formal meeting. He will say, okay, he just wants us to walk behind the scene. Yeah, it is okay. I don't have a problem with that. But we are running a government. And I want to have a second or third or fourth ear to everything I'm doing. Because some of them are very difficult. Before you know it, you say one thing, they say you told them another one. So when I request for meetings, there's a reason why I request for meetings. And I'm having that meeting with thousands of different committees and commands in Biafra land. So there's none that will be different. So refusing that meeting, we monitored him between February and April. And after that, he every now comes up with this opinion that, yes, I'm with USB, but you know what? I'm gonna do it my own way. You know? But mine is to try to explain where the government is coming from. It's okay for you to say you're going to do it your own way. But we are running a government right now where we all need to work together for success. We don't want a situation where something will happen in Aba State. The defense will not know about it. Something will happen in Enugu State. The defense will not know about it. Something will happen in Tunisia State. The defense will not know about that. No leadership will be successful in that manner. So the criminals that are paid by the Nigerian state through behind try to use this idea to infiltrate and confuse, because that's what I call it. Because that kind of mindset will not run in this government. So you have a situation whereby I am with you, but allow me to do this on my own way, which is okay. I don't have a problem doing it your own way. But the government must know what you are doing. It is absolutely necessary. It's just like you going to a company to work. You are hired to, all of us are hired to work for Biafra. And then there is no audit. Your boss does not know what you're doing. It's just like when, immediately after declaration, when we told Kere, when we talked about finance, it's not by accountability per se. It's just the government needs to know what is going on. What are you doing? How much do we have? Who are we owing? That's a formal report. We don't want somebody to come out tomorrow and say, Dr. Gazi, oh, Biafra is owing me $1 billion or 100 million naira or something. I have to account for that. especially the absence of our Prime Minister. It falls within my table as the Chief of Staff. No other person. As I told Biafrans, the Prime Minister does not need to tell anyone that I will be the surrogate. He doesn't need to do that. But because he knew the wolves he left behind, that they don't respect anyone, that was why he has to do it. He doesn't need to do that. All of a sudden, a faceless individual that never said anything when the Prime Minister was around is coming out to tell you people, you're going to do autopilot, you're going to do regional government. Somebody that was never, nothing. Everybody all of a sudden, even though the Prime Minister suspended, Tusa had to tell me the name. He called Gaddafi, he called Madame Azoka. Again, I don't have any problem with anybody calling someone. But again, what are you doing with these individuals if the Prime Minister suspended them? There must have been a reason for that. Why don't you wait for the Prime Minister to come out before you start romancing these individuals? And you think that they will give you the Biafra that the Prime Minister has left? No. They will never. They have nothing to offer except chaos. And you involve yourself with them, you will be part of that chaos, not this government. This government is as sealed as anything. We are very focused, we are straight, and we are carrying out the assignment laid down by the Prime Minister without any intervention. We discovered in the cabinet that within that time frame, he wants to do his own thing. In collusion with those criminal advisors from behind that are talking to him. He listens to them. Yes, he does. Because from what he told me, I know he does. During our Memorial Day march, May 30th, he, Butuso, nothing was shown from him and his team. At least let us celebrate our fallen heroes every May 30th. He didn't participate in that. Only he knows the reason. But he cannot be doing things like that and be telling Biafrans, oh, the cabinet is not giving him and you still resources. No, you cannot have two masters at one time. It's not going to work. So when all the able-bodied men and women of the United States of Biafra military conducted the Memorial Day march, those that are working behind the scene with him, all they came out to do is to criticize innocent Biafrans who remembered our heroes are heroes day. They were there to analyze them. They were there to criticize those that are wearing slippers, those that are wearing shoes, those that are covering their face, that is all these criminals do behind the scene. But ask him as the commander-in-chief of the United States of Biafra government, which car, where was one march from his car on Memorial Day? He, Butuso, did not participate in that. Neither him or those he said that are working with him, or 3 or 4 teams like that. And these are all genuine Biafrans. What was his reason for doing that? I don't know. I don't know. Only him knows who he's talking with. But you think Biafrans are not watching? Biafrans are watching. Biafrans are fully watching. And I've tried to carry everyone along. I have the patience, trust me. My patience can stretch from here to the next 100 kilometers. That is what I'm trained for. But I cannot continue to stretch my patience and allow somebody to destroy this beautiful thing that we are building. That is why Biafrans must know what is going on behind the scene. So there was no Memorial Day participation, but rather those that were advising him, They came out and they started criticizing our able-bodied men and women that marched to remember our heroes and our heroines. If any of them falls today, God forbid, is it not the right thing that during that Memorial Day, our military will remember him, remember those that have fallen? That is the right thing to do. But those walking, gossiping, filling him with misinformation, and their criminal elements that pretended to be forming a parallel government, they are focused on criticizing, because I believe they were shocked. The United States of Biafra were able to raise thousands of military just within that short period. And let me tell you, those Biafran military that marched within that Memorial Day was just about 3/10 of our military. We didn't authorize all of them to march. We did not. We just picked few states. And that was what everybody saw. Those few states. Imagine if we have allowed all the 40 states to march on Memorial Day. It would have been very, very heavy. Trust me, they wanted to do that. But because of time and other factors, and as a new nation, we just approved about 2/10 of the team of the Biafra military. So were the criminals happy? No, they were not happy. They were busy criticizing. They were thinking it's Dr. Rabweza's name. They called them terrorists. These are the people that call themselves Biafrans. They call innocent Biafran military men and women. They call them the terrorist army of Dr. Rabweza. Who is paying them to use such words? What is their plan? And they think the people that pay them, when they use such words, they can deter me or deter the military or make any impact. Biafrans are taking record. So he never participated. But he may be coming out and complaining to some people, oh, he doesn't get resources. But when the government needs something, he doesn't participate. And I don't undermine the power of anyone. But we are running a government where we expect everyone must walk on the same table. Within that period of our May 30th, the United States of Biafra government gave only 1 day sit at home, which was May 30th, across the board. Him and maybe those he's talking with, they went to post 2 days sit at home on Twitter space to confuse Biafrans, not to confuse those that are truly, but to confuse some Biafrans that they want, and so that their paid agent will see that what they are paying them to do, they are doing it. Colluding with the criminal called Sonia Parawa and Co. And all of them that were in that ex-Briggy fallback group, all of them, they are the same. All. And they went to post 2 days sit at home when the government already declared just 1 day sit at home on May 30th. What was their plot? What are they planning? They are going with Elias. They are going with Elias' plan, right? To make it look as if there is another government existing somewhere. Then they come up with a regional thing. And when we catch them, they say, oh, regional is just for military formation and all that. When Obasanjo has built 40 states, confederated, independent states of Biafra. What is the 40 state? What is the regional about? To confuse those that are paying you, to show them that you are doing something. I will be the end of all of you. I promise you that. This cabinet will be your end. Unless it's not this Biafra that we have declared. Unless it's not this one. So when the cabinet discovered that he cannot work with the cabinet, then the cabinet said, well, we cannot continue to fund somebody who has refused to meet with me, who has refused to meet with the defense. Because maybe the person had his own reasons. So if the person has his own reasons, and there are people that he's meeting, it is okay to go to those people. It's absolutely okay. But you cannot walk in Central Bank and go to Access Bank to demand for salary. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Obedience is better than sacrifice. No leader will tolerate that. No country will tolerate where individuals think they are over, they are stronger, they are bigger than the state. If it has happened in the past, if that is the perception they've given some of you in the past, now that must stop because we are running a government. Government is here to protect everyone. The government is here to build everyone. The government is here to establish every command based on our little resources we are getting. But if you are part of those that the Nigerian state and Tinubu is using to come out and fight the funding and the donation of the United States of Biafra, I'm telling you, you are going to be, the way you will fall, you are a complete failure. I promise you that. Because before you start fighting, go and ask those that have already fought Dr. Obwezi. Biafrans here, everywhere, everyone here remembered how they started fighting. When they failed in Finland, they started fighting our account. They started saying, oh, they're using the account. The bank account is owned by terrorists, it's owned by Fulanese, it's owned by Islamic, it's an Islamic bank, Dutch bank, Islamic bank. The same ex-British foreign people that we are parading on these lands. The next thing, they started publishing the names of innocent Biafrans that were donating money to rebuild our nation. This Sonia Palawa, don't get carried. All of them in that ex-British, they were part of that plot. The next thing, they found a WhatsApp where they were plotting against me, reporting me to FBI. Things that we are doing with the John with the somebody like that. Then we are all working with Sonia Palawa. We in the Nigerian state. Then the next thing, they started labeling innocent Biafrans as terrorist financiers. Tinubu and Christopher Bamusa published names of innocent Biafrans on the newspapers in Nigeria as terrorist financiers. Just as they labeled our Prime Minister as a terrorist financier. Just like they labeled innocent Biafrans living in Finland as terrorist financiers. And after that, 4 innocent Biafrans, they've done all their investigation. They went on their fishing expedition. And after that, they couldn't find nothing. They had to drop the case because there was no evidence except the lies. The Nigerian state, Tinubu, Biafra went to lie to them. And some ex-Briggy cabinet members, because they are part of that. There is no way Nigeria can come near any Biafra without another Biafra being there. That's what those ex-Briggy fallback people, that's what they do. All of them, none of them is exempted. And they will continue to do this until they fall into the pit where they will never come out again. That's a promise. After they've labeled them terrorist financiers, they discharge them. This is in addition to how they go in homeland to attack innocent Biafrans that believe in Biafra. Nothing else. That is what they do. Then they came with the one that is mandate. One of them even said that, oh, their mandate, their account, there is a full editor. She was not a signatory. Somebody that never does anything at all. information. This same gang, that Dr. Obweze is a Fulani woman. She's married to 2 Fulani men, blah, blah. These are all misinformation. And what is their target? Their target is not me. Their target is to stop the restoration of Biafra, which we already got. So they believe when they get me, maybe it will slow down the restoration of Biafra. That is why the people paying them specifically tells them, go after Dr. Obweze. All these other people, they don't matter. Go after him. Go after the cabinet. Because Tinubu and Christopher Musa, they know where the power of Biafra lies. Did they stop? They went with all kinds of lies. All manner of lies. Lies you will not even expect a 13-year-old child to lie. A 70-something-year-old woman is busy lying it. Without any proof. Without any fact. With their paid agents. All of them. Singing the same song. I don't want to go into their criminality of changing the brigade registration that the Prime Minister never authorized, that I never authorized, and what they're doing. Because they are all the same. They will turn against each other. That is how the Spirit of God will destroy all of them that are fighting for the full restoration of the United States of Biafra. Our hands are clean. My hand is clean. We didn't do anything bad to them. So that is why we have to organize this question and answer session to update Biafrans. So when anybody comes out to lie to you that he or she is not receiving money from the government, so you will know the right question to ask the person. Again, there is always room for improvement. I cherish all my military. I cherish all the Biafra military, both before and now. And I'll never shortchange any of them for anyone. But for you to be in the United States of Biafra military, for you to hold such a high position of authority, you must be even 105% committed into this government. Not 99.9%. You will not be there. Not 99.9%. You must be 100%. That will be the requirement. Because we want to build a military that is not dated. We want to build a military that the commanders know their job. We want to build a military that their commanders are loyal and committed to the government of the United States of Biafra. I wanted to also use this opportunity to let Biafrans know that all these people deceiving them, they don't want Biafra to come. They don't. We already got our nation. The process we are now is building, and it's just a handful of paid agents of the Nigerian state. Do not join them. You join them at your own detriment. We're not going to beg you. It's going to be at your own detriment. As I've said, some of them parading themselves right now. They are this CRC, they are this one. I personally, interviewed Professor Chomo Koma and I brought her into this government. I interviewed her and I gave her the job in Biafra government. The same thing with her husband, Bryson Okoma. I interviewed him and brought him into this government. Joy Europe, I interviewed her and brought her into this government. So when they come out to deceive some of you, to tell you they were there with Nnamdi Kanu Onyedu, they were there with, ask them who into this brigade. On that brigade, as the chief of staff, I interviewed these individuals and brought them into this government. Then all of a sudden, they think they know it more than the person that gave them the job. No, it doesn't work that way. That's why I tell you, all these fraudulent activities they are doing, they have no basis. All of them, they have no basis to do that. They will pretend. They will come in different manners. But Biafra has passed that stage. We have passed the stage of chaos. We have passed the stage of people who are not organized, who do not respect the authority, who have no respect even for a prime minister or Namikado to be parading themselves as anything. They are nothing. Nothing except what they think they are. And they can only deceive those whom they are deceiving. So I wanted to just use that little brief to let Biafrans know that we are doing everything possible within our means to make sure that all our military and our commanders on ground, they get what they need. But we cannot have two governments anywhere, anytime. There can never be two commands anywhere, anytime. That idea that he who has the gun is the one that is bigger than the state, not anymore. So I encourage everyone in the Biafra military to make sure you're doing the right thing. I know you're all doing a great job. I thank you all. But those that are trying to tell you to fight Dr. Robertson, that the woman will never be your leader, that it must be a man, they are just deceiving you. Is it not a woman that born you? Ask those people. They were all in Finland. Does any of them have the audacity to declare the independence of Biafra? No, they don't. They were so afraid, they were so shaken that the Finland government would send their police to arrest them. Some of them even said that I will never come back from Finland. They were already spreading the news everywhere. They do not have the audacity because it didn't fall within their power to do that. They don't have the capacity to do whatever they are doing right now. That's why you must stop them. Tell them to stop. Stop that foolery. They must stop that foolery. We didn't take them away from the Biafra government. We didn't remove them from the United States of Biafra. We established the cabinet. The cabinet had just about 20 people, 19 people. And we had about 50-something, 60-something people in the cabinet before. There are raised position for everyone. Most of the secretaries and departments have like 5 different departments under one secretary. All these will be taken over by people. But because their name were not mentioned, in just those 19, 20 people, they went berserk, disgracing themselves on Twitter. Partnering with the enemies like Elias to fight what Simon Eber has established. And they think Biafrans will support them in that nonsense? No. You're just disgracing yourself. And you will get yourself into more trouble. And any military that parades or works with this individual, I'm telling you, they will destroy you. But when that happens, do not come and say it's because the USB cabinet, they didn't give you resources. That is why what happened to you happened to you. That's why Biafrans must hear what is happening. I am open to everyone. The cabinet is open to every genuine commander on ground. But you must work with the government. You cannot do your own individual thing. Why the government does their own? It's not going to happen. So I'm open to everyone. I think from my own side, that's all I have. Fandi will be able to, our financial secretary, will be able to give us what the figure looks like between the time that we chose a time to work with the government, which he was open to, and we were given resources based on what we have. And then when he believes that he will be doing his own thing, even though he always said, and I believe him, I love him, he is a true son of the soil, he and all these other men. But those people, you are listening to deceiving you that it must be what you say, not what the government say. No, that's not how it works. And on that note, I will hand it over to Famdi. Thank you so much, Biafrans, for listening to me.